Hello, everyone. I hope you can see and hear me. One never knows. Hi, my name is Casey Durango of Go Keto with Casey. Grandmother clock is chiming. Must be time to talk about keto. I'm sure the cuckoo will be along presently. Uh, there goes our cuckoo. I like to talk about how I've lost 97.4 pounds. Yes, it's still 97.4 pounds. Don't talk to me about a stall or a plateau. Actually, I'm pretty happy where I am. How I've lost 97.4 pounds since starting the ketogenic diet, and how you might be able to lose weight, improve your health, and regain control of your life. Thank you for allowing me in on this kind of overcast, chilly, rainy autumn Saturday. Enjoying the fire, getting toasty here. Today's topic is one, that I think has come up a lot. And you might hear this from people who are encouraging you and people who are naysaying you, or just what you read in the press, the media, from your medical provider, whatever it might be, is, listen, it's just a fad, or that's all you have to do is move more, eat less, or just, it's all about eating less than you burn, which is accurate. Ultimately, our energy needs and energy consumption, which I prefer to use those terms rather than calories, because calories are very charged words. That's a charged word with people. And I hope you can hear me. My computer seems to be heating up a lot and the fan is on, so I hope that's not too distracting. Ultimately, the amount of energy you consume, the fuel you consume against what your body needs does matter. So what's the difference? Because there are people who are very successful on many different ways for losing weight, if we're just getting the health aspect out of it. Because keep in mind, a ketogenic diet, let me back up, is one where you reduce your carbohydrate intake to a level where your liver is not pushing out glucose or sugar for fuel, and your body will happily turn to burning ketones or fat for fuel. That's what it is. For most people, you can count on that carbohydrate level being 20 total grams, not net, a day or fewer. That will work for most people. Some people may be able to consume more if you are younger, a male, if you're not particularly insulin resistant, different things. But 20 grams total or fewer a day will pretty much work for everyone. Beyond weight loss, there's just growing evidence, anecdotal and research evidence, that it's a very anti-inflammatory way of eating. So you can tend to feel better pretty quickly. You might notice that your joints aren't creaky, that they just don't hurt as much. Some people have come off of their anti-inflammatory medications. People's acid reflux dissipates. Get your brains back. The brain fog lifts. But if you're looking just for weight loss and you say, well, I lost weight on, doing Weight Watchers years ago, that's great. Many people love the structure of Weight Watchers. Some people follow with the Biggest Loser routine, pounding it out at the gym, and then tightly restricting calories, fuel. That works. If that is what you like, wonderful. I will tell you my experience, which is really all I can speak to, is my experience with the ketogenic diet and my understanding of how and why it works. But forget about the physiology of it. From a very practical standpoint, the biggest difference to me, and what I've heard from so many other people, and I speak with a lot of people, I hear from a lot of people, is as opposed to, say, Weight Watchers, where you may be able to wrestle down that weight, but you might be thinking about food all day. You're having to Talk about math. You're having to calculate points. And consequently, food is always on your mind. You're being ruled by food. For me and for many other people, one of the great things about this is you do end up eating less fuel, less food, because your appetite is actually suppressed. Your hunger goes away. You eat less food. So yes, in that regard, any nutrition protocol where you restrict caloric intake sufficiently can result in weight loss. You can also get that if you get stranded on a desert island and you don't have any food. You'll probably lose weight. If you have your jaws wired shut, you might lose weight. There are lots of ways to restrict caloric intake. Go on hunger strike and protest of something. You'll probably lose weight. But will you be thinking about food all the time? This is like the most painless thing. It was for me, and I've heard from lots of other people who say it's amazing. After the first week or so, I just didn't even want the food. I not only wasn't hungry, I had no appetite. Sometimes the food is just an afterthought, which is really what food should be for us. It should be fuel. It shouldn't be a sport or a hobby or an obsession. And many of us will tell ourselves, I'm addicted to food. Well, I don't know. I can't speak to addiction, which is a very strong word. But if you're using any substance for that which it is not intended to deal with something else, maybe that's not addiction so much as diversion. I don't want to deal with my life over here, so I think I'm going to go eat a whole lot of food to distract myself. Or I don't want to deal with my life over here, so I'm going to stop at the liquor store. I don't want to deal with my life or things that are going on, so I'm going to do some online poker for the next 27 hours straight. So of course those things are not dealing with life, they're diverting. But I digress. Getting away from constant thoughts of food is such a relief. And to me, not only do I believe that this is the way we were designed ultimately to eat. Eat fatty sources of protein. Don't eat if you're not hungry. Stop when you're satiated. By the way, I don't say stop when you're full. Stop when you're satiated. Stop when you're satisfied. Which for many of us, we're getting satisfied on less and less food, which is why it works. Hola, de Puerto Rico. Fantástico. Yo estoy pensando en hacer videos en español. ¿Qué piensas? Okay, so that is the main difference. When someone tells you, oh, it's just like every other diet. Well, yeah, if you restrict your fuel intake, to lower than your body needs for its energy, yeah, it can work. But let me tell you what, friend, the big difference is I can do this for the rest of my life and not think about food. I'm going to try something. I tried it last week. It didn't work. I'm going to try to play you a slideshow. And some of the photos, you'll see I'm in a bathing suit and cycling shorts because I was trying to move more, eat less. One summer, the summer of the triathlon, I trained for and participated in 4 or 5 sprint level triathlons. I trained for them. I followed a nutritionist's handout to the T. Exactly what I was told to eat, I ate. What I was told not to eat, I didn't eat. I think it was 6 months between starting the first training and completing the last triathlon, I lost 11 pounds, which was nothing. I was very uncomfortable, and I thought about food all the time. I was always hungry. So I'm there laughing. It's me in the blue. I'm there laughing with my friend. But I really wasn't. It wasn't funny. I wasn't having a good time. I was mortified. I was huge. and it was ineffective. And I followed the rules. So fast forward to, let me get off of that. Who needs to see that again? Fast forward to a few years later, I didn't want to take insulin for type 2 diabetes, which I knew I was probably on deck for. And found Dr. Eric Westman's video on the no starch, no sugar diet. Keep your carbs 20 grams or fewer a day. Eat fatty sources of protein. Don't eat if you're not hungry. And I started doing it. The next time I put food in my mouth, I just left off the carbs. Now, what are carbs? Contrary to what you may hear, it's not 20 grams of carbohydrate on top of unlimited vegetables. No, vegetables are not unlimited. They're not a free food. That is very contrary to what some programs call for and what some people simply are incorrect when they talk about this. Limit vegetables, non-starchy vegetables, to about a cup a day, pre-cooked, maximum, and about 2 cups a day of leafy green vegetables, maximum. Many days I eat almost no veg. And that's okay, it's a very nutrient-dense way to eat. So anywho, that's another way it's different, but it's very satisfying. And I can't say it strongly enough. You're just not hungry. You consume less food, which is how one loses weight, is taking in fewer calories, there's the word, than your body burns. And it's easy to do on this protocol. So that's it in a nutshell. I don't have all the answers. I can tell you about my experience and my understanding. So if anyone has any questions they'd like to share. Amber Martin, I've been on low carb keto for 4+ months, and I've fallen off the wagon more than once and paid the price. My joint inflammation flares up and I feel terrible. I do confess that I've been on sites where people are losing 20 pounds in a few weeks, and I have only lost 12 pounds so far, and I become frustrated. I have to learn that I'm feeling better, look healthier, and my body is healing. Yes, Amber, thank you for sharing that. First of all, keep in mind that while some people have rapid weight loss, particularly at the beginning, I didn't. The first year, and I had lots to lose, because I'm actually 115.5 pounds off of my heaviest. I had lots to lose. I'm 5'1". I lost 47 pounds the first year. So that's on average less than a pound a week. I didn't care. I felt so much better. And it was so easy to do. Now I'm going to tell you that I'm going to put in a little plug here for Patreon. Some people have commented, particularly on YouTube, I like your videos, but they're too long. Can you make shorter ones? I'm just going to tell you, I make about 10 to 15-minute videos a month for patrons at patreon.com. For $2 a month, you get access to all those videos and to a patron-only forum. And I bring this up because as opposed to some Facebook sites and different sites where people are doing their 20 pounds, losing 20 pounds a month and everything, which is great, and we applaud that for people, you're going to get a more realistic, a more average picture of how things are, because those are the one-offs. And we don't say only lost 12 pounds at Go Keto with Casey on Patreon. We say so far I've lost. We don't say slow loser. We say gradual loser or normal loser. So if you want some support, up to and including challenges, and some people will come on our live streams, our patron-only live streams, and say, okay, y'all, I need to be kicked in the rear end. I need some accountability. Check out patreon.com/Go Keto with Casey. Hola, de Madeira in Portugal. Hi, Ines. How are you? Hola. ¿Qué tal? Okay. Betty Alfonso, 6 months keto, 6 months and developed kidney. I can't read what happened. That flipped away. Sorry. The comments flip on me. Yeah, keto for 14 months. These so-called cheats, one thing is not cheating, you're an adult. Eat what you want. If you don't like it, eat what you want. It's not like, it's not cheating, it's just food. But, you know, if you know it doesn't, if you don't feel well eating certain foods, why would you go back to them? If you happen to be, you have a bad reaction to, say, I don't know, shrimp. And you know that if you eat shrimp, you're not going to feel well, you're going to break out in a rash, you're going to lay off the shrimp, right? Don't eat shrimp. If carbs have that effect on you, and carbs do have that effect on many people, just lay off them. Good morning, Shirley. 7 years on Weight Watchers. When I left, I weighed more than when I started. Yeah, they kind of count on that, don't they? Don't forget, Weight Watchers, many people are successful. It's a business. It's a business. And they keep changing up the program, trying to tell you how you can eat everything you want. Because who wouldn't sign up for that? You can eat everything you want. Ooh, that's what I want. I want that nutrition protocol where I can eat everything I want. Well, I can't eat everything I want. And I don't even want the carbs anymore. I was a person who thought I wouldn't be able to do low carb because I just knew in my heart I could not go without eating tortilla chips. And when you tell yourself you can't go without something, you find it harder to go without it. So I couldn't go without tortilla chips until I did. Now I don't even care. I don't even think about them. They're a non-issue, even when we go eat at a Mexican restaurant. Okay, Casey, I did keto for several months, had great success, but developed kidney stones. I want to keto again, but I'm afraid of stones. Betty, have you ever had kidney stones before? Have you ever heard of people who develop kidney stones that are not on a ketogenic diet? It's very possibly not related to the ketogenic diet. If you are prone to kidney stones, drink plenty of water. But that's regardless whether you're a sugar burner or a fat burner. I can tell you my husband had a kidney stone about 6 weeks ago, but he also had kidney stones, a very bad case, 30 years ago when he was an absolute sugar burner. So, do what you want to do. Okay, someone just popped up. We have a virus, Cravings. Oh my God, why? I don't know what, I'm sorry, not sure what that means. Okie dokie. So Betty, do what you need to do. Don't let a talking head on a Facebook live stream give you medical advice. But I will say people all the world over get kidney stones. As a matter of fact, in where I live, this part of North Carolina is known as the kidney stone belt. There's a high incidence. And believe me, most of the population is tossing back biscuits and chicken fried steak and fries and hush puppies. Okie dokie. Hey, Ekaterina, how are you, darling? How are you? All the way from the West Coast. Okay, does anyone have, what about gallbladder? I'm going to say this again. Comes up a lot. There are people, there's no reason that this won't be effective for you if you have no gallbladder, hyperthyroid, hypothyroid, no thyroid, Hashimoto's, postmenopausal, premenopausal, perimenopausal, post-hysterectomy. It's just food, y'all. It's just food. So I'm going to guess that there are people here that can chime in and say, I don't have a gallbladder, never had a problem. Alrighty. Again, I'm going to give a plug for Patreon. I'm going to give a plug for our cruise coming up, which is in the end of March. Check it out at my blog. The whole ship is not going keto. It's a huge ship. We're just going to be a group there. We're going to hang out and have some fun. So it's of the Western Caribbean, leaving Miami, I think March 22nd, something like that. But check that out at my blog, which is caseydurango.com. Shunda, hey Shunda, how are you doing? Superwoman, Wonder Woman. She writes, my husband just passed kidney stones last week. Doctor analyzed it and it was excess calcium oxalated. Always is. Oh, usually is. Edna, hey Edna, I had gallstones a few years ago, ended up in the ER. I have not had any issues since I went keto. There you go. Okie dokie. Someone asked, made a comment and said people get so snarky about diets. And why is that? And I said, I don't know. They do. My simple answer is people be crazy. I don't know why it is. I don't know why people get so dug in about food, about other people's food. You know what we say around Go Keto with Casey. Nobody gets a vote on what you eat. Nobody. Not your kids, your life partner, your boss, your co-worker, your sister. Nobody. Your brother, your mother. Nobody gets a vote on what you eat. You are ultimately responsible for what you put in your mouth. And as for cravings, cravings are, they do not equal sudden death. They are not fatal. To use a trite gauche phrase, suck it up, buttercup. You'll get through them. Cravings pass. And then you don't get cravings anymore. It's amazing. People find that very difficult to believe. You know, people say, I can't. I'm addicted to chocolate. I eat chocolate every single day. And if I don't have it, I'm going to crave it. Well, first of all, you can crave it and you'll still be okay. You won't die. But you will find that you don't crave the foods that you don't eat anymore. As Dr. Westman likes to say, you know, ask me if I crave cigarettes. Dr. Westman, do you crave cigarettes? No, because I don't smoke. You know, it makes perfect sense. I don't crave tortilla chips because I haven't had one in 4.5 years. It's just not part of my life. So I don't crave them. You can do this. If I can do this after 30 years of being perfectly round and pretty miserable inside my head, I always want to clarify that I have a great life. But inside my head, I was not happy. I was not happy inside my own skin, literally. If I can do this, you can do this. And how do you start? The next time you eat, leave off the carbs. You don't have to go to the store and buy anything special. Let me say this. There is not a product that you need to purchase to be 100% successful at this diet. Nothing. You don't have to measure your blood or urine if you don't want to. If you want to do those things, there are tools out there that can help you and that sometimes can motivate you or help you learn what your limits are. There are no special liquids that you drink that will get you into ketosis. It's not the presence of what you put in your mouth that gets you burning fat for fuel. It's the absence of things that you put in your mouth. It's the absence of carbs, not the presence of fat or liquids or exogenous ketones or powders or pills or shakes. You do not have to measure grams of fat or protein. We call that the M word around Go Keto with Casey. You know the pie chart where you have to get supposedly? It's not part of the protocol. Here's the protocol. I'm going to repeat it again. Keep your total carbohydrate intake to 20 grams or fewer a day. Eat fatty sources of protein. Don't eat if you're not hungry, and stop when you're satisfied. That's it. You can see a copy of the food list I followed. It's one page at my blog under resources. But you can find lots of copies of it all over the place. Just be wary of anything. My list does not include nuts because the way I learned the protocol, nuts are not there because it's very easy to mindlessly overeat nuts. Plus they are calorically and carb dense. So I avoid them. Before I wrap up, oh, Shunda, Shunda, but you got your Wonder Woman thing going on, right? I know you do. Melissa Lewis writes, over 50 pounds gone, no products. You don't need to buy any products. Now, you can go to my blog and buy a shirt or a mug or a journal. And I have gotten grief about that. So people say, oh, she says she doesn't need, you don't need to buy anything. But then she sells you a mug. If you don't know the difference between buying exogenous ketones and pills that are supposed to substitute food and buying a mug, you may not be ready to take on this diet. Just saying. That's kind of mean, isn't it? They're just a fun thing to do. Mugs, t-shirts, journals, calendars will be coming out. And Patreon. It allowed me to step away from my career of 30 years to do this full time. So there you go. Melissa Lewis writes, my husband started by seeing my results. Oh, Melissa, how long did it take? My experience, and in my own household, about 6 months, trailing spouses. After about 6 months, wives or husbands or partners will say, whoa, I was a skeptic, but wow, it seems to be working. I think I'm going to try that. Thank you, Kitty. Never used macro, product, or special foods. It's just food. Just leave off the carbs. Okay, I am going to wind up. Thank you so much. If anyone has any questions from me. Oh, will the calendars go international? I would love one. Probably not, Inez. Shipping outside of the United States can just be, it's just super expensive. But on the calendars, maybe that'll be easier. The mugs, I mean, it's like $75 to ship even to Canada. So I wish I could afford to do it, but I just can't. But I'll see about the calendars if that's going to be affordable. Alrighty. Thank you guys. Check out my blog. Check out Patreon if you'd like. It's a really great community of people. And depending on the level of monthly contribution, you get everything from, like I said, the 20 videos a month, which I make pre-coffee in the morning. Hair is a mess. All the way up to, depending on your level, straight on through patron-only live streams, patron-only video group sessions, and hour-long one-on-ones with me. And you get access to each other in the patron-only forum, which, as I've often said, people go to Patreon not to get access to me, but to get access to each other. It's a good group. Okay, Denise was doing great, had a hip replacement. Doc said I would bleed out if on keto. Can't speak to that. I've never heard of lots of people have surgery. Lots of people have had major surgery and stayed right on keto. So some doctors just don't care for keto. All right, guys. Things going past. I cannot read these too quickly. Okay, thank you. Have a great Saturday. Stay warm where you are. Love my fire. And take care of yourself. And remember, naysayers, let them say nay. That's okay. No one gets a vote on what you eat. It's your body. It's your health. Are they going to walk around in your body? Are they going to take your medications for you? No. No one gets a vote. You're in control of what you put in your mouth. You won't die from cravings. Cheat days are not going to help you. Carb up days are not going to help you. Do what you want to do. But I tell you what, I've seen too many people advise that they're so sad after they have a carby meal. They don't feel good, and it takes a while to get back on, and they're discouraged, and all that stuff. So just do what works. Okay, thank you very much, guys. Thank you for allowing me to, oh, it goes cuckoo. Thank you for allowing me in. And I'll see you next time. God willing and the creek don't rise.